All right. Hey everyone, welcome back. Day 4 of the garden series. Today's theme is stewardship. Let's talk about what it really means to tend what God gave us. Not just the soil in our backyard, but the soil of our hearts, our mind, our purpose. It's a beautiful sunrise this morning, huh? So see, a garden doesn't just grow because you planted something. It grows because you watered it, weeded it, protected it, because you showed up. In Genesis 2:15 it says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." That same calling applies to us. We've each been given something to steward. Our gifts, our relationships, our peace, our spiritual walk. So the question is, how are you tending your garden? Are you pulling the weeds of bitterness, distraction, or fear? Are you protecting your peace from wandering cows, those unexpected intrusions that trample your growth? Are you making space for good things to grow? Because if we don't tend it, the fruit gets eaten, the walls fall down, and the harvest we were called to bring forth never fully matures. So a little reflection. What has God planted in you this season? What needs watering, pruning, or fencing off? And what have you neglected that needs your attention again? So, yeah, and then challenge to myself, and maybe to you too, do one act of stewardship today. Maybe it's fixing a broken fence in the yard. Maybe it's setting a boundary in my life. Maybe it's just sitting in prayer or making space to listen. Whatever it is, I want to tend something God gave me today with intention, love, and the grit to keep going. For me today, I work at it every day, I guess, but I got to turn it over to God, and then I need to pursue that. Not just say I'm giving it over to God, but, pick up that cross and follow Him too. So that's just me, anyways. But, so let's go with our Stoic quote for the day. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Man, that's a lot right there. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Sometimes the weeds, the cows, the setbacks, they're not distractions from the path. They are the path. When I face resistance in my garden, spiritually or literally, it's not a sign to quit. It's an innovation to grow stronger, more patient, more rooted in purpose. Stewardship means seeing obstacles as the very soil where virtue is cultivated. Sometimes that's what you need. Buddhist quote and reflection. To tend the garden of the mind is to practice the art of awareness. Thich Nhat Hanh. Reflection. Each moment I spend aware, whether watering plants or my own breath, is an act of love. Stewardship in a Buddhist sense is about mindfulness. Am I truly present in my tending, or am I rushing, distracting, missing the life blooming right in front of me? My garden thrives when I slow down and see it. Yeah, and that's good. We always want to be mindful and aware of what we're doing. Otherwise, it might not potentially pack the same punch. So just for today, our sobriety warriors, just for today, I will have a program. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. And that, that's my program for today. Just for today, I'm turning it over to God, because I can't always deal with it. But God can, and He'll show me the way if I hold the faith. Sobriety, like gardening, is daily work. Some days I feel like I've got it down. Other days I'm just trying to keep the weeds from taking over. But having a program, a plan to tend my garden is part of the stewardship. It's not about perfection. It's about presence, progress, and purpose. And then today's inspirational quote is a Theodore Roosevelt quote, the bull moose himself. Do what you can with what you have where you are. So I don't need the perfect tools or the ideal conditions to be a good steward. I just need willingness. Maybe my garden isn't where I want it to be, but that doesn't mean I can't start with what's in front of me. A single pulled weed, a single planted seed, it matters. So don't use, not having the perfect setup or whatever, like, oh, my computer's not good enough, or oh, this, or oh, that. But don't use those as excuses to not get started with what you can do. Just my thoughts there. And then we have the Bruce Lee, and this is one of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes, is, "Be like water, my friend." And that's Bruce Lee. And water doesn't resist, it flows. When a rock gets in the way, it doesn't stop, it moves around it. In my garden, in my life, stewardship means learning to adapt. Sometimes I want things to go a certain way, but God may be leading me in a different direction. I can resist and grow bitter, or I can flow with trust and keep nourishing what's been given to me. Flow. Take the shape of your container. Right? It's one of my favorites there. So, all right, we're getting tight on time here, So again, the daily challenge: do one act of stewardship in your garden today, whether physical, mental, or spiritual. Pull one weed, fix one fence, water one seed. Reflection for the day: what has God planted in me this season, and what in my garden needs water, pruning, or to be pulled out? Make sure you're not growing weeds. We want to grow something that's going to have a good harvest. Learn something new. Our knowledge nugget of the day: did you know that sunflowers can clean soil through a process called phytoremediation? Phytoremediation. They absorb toxins like lead and arsenic from the earth. These bright flowers don't just grow, they heal. And then our feng shui practice: add a small water feature like a bowl of water or a fountain to your southeast corner. This area is tied to abundance and growth in your garden or home. Flowing water symbolizes nourishing energy. Prep tip of the day: keep a manual water filter or life straw in your emergency kit. Clean water is essential in any survival situation, and gravity-fed filters or personal straws require no electricity and minimal effort. Our word of the day: cultivate. To prepare, develop, or improve something, especially through effort. Example: each morning I cultivate peace by spending time in reflection before tending my garden. And our gardening tip of the day: mulch, mulch, mulch. Adding a thick layer of organic mulch, straw, wood chips, or even leaves helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and feed your soil as it breaks down. Think of it as armor for your garden. And then our trivia of the day: what plant often used in companion gardening can both repel pests and enhance the flavor of tomatoes? And I'm pretty sure we've covered this one. So, and then we'll recap the last 2 days' trivia here in a second. And then a new section I'm doing today is this day in history. So on July 24th, 1911, American explorer Hiram Bingham, that's kind of Hiram Bingham, rediscovers the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu in Peru. Sometimes the most sacred places are buried, overgrown, or forgotten, just like parts of my inner garden. Stewardship also means rediscovery, uncovering lost dreams, buried gifts, or forgotten purpose, and bringing them back into the light. That's good stuff there. Good stuff. So, hold on, let's see here. The trivia. What plant closes its leaves before rain? What plant closes its leaves before rain? That is Mimosa pudica. Responds to touch, light, and weather changes. Before rain or at night, its leaves fold inward, a natural defense mechanism to protect from harm and conserve energy. This reaction is called phygmonasty, movement in response to touch or vibration, and nistinasty, movement based on light or dark cycles. It's nature's way of saying, time to shut the gate. That's a good one. And then we need one more here. What was it on day 2? No, hold on. Let's see. See, I wasn't prepared again. I'm fired. We're going overtime. I wasn't prepared. And then it was what? No, we did that one. Oh,